So hello, Mel. How are you today?
Good, thank you.
Well, I wanted to thank you for being here today and for doing this interview with me.
You're very welcome.
So, Mel, I just want to ask you some questions about where you were before you started the Get Out of Pain program. And so, what was your pain situation before you started working with me?
Well, I used to wake up every single morning with a backache, and it was about a five on a scale of 1 to 10. And I used to think it was the mattress, and our mattress was not that old, maybe 4 years old. And it kind of went away as the day wore on, but other aches and pains also cropped up, and I just felt I had to live with them.
Yeah. And how long did you have that pain?
I know I've had aches and pains in my shoulders and in my hips and in my feet for probably 15 years. The back pain may be only within the past 5 years or so. It's hard to remember for sure, but I don't have it now though.
Yeah, and and weeks and months go by, and we forget how long we've been living with our
Right, right. You
condition.
just kind of learn to live with it,
Yeah,
which is not the best.
yeah. So how did you feel emotionally about the pain?
I was anxious because I have some longevity in my family. My mom and dad both lived into their 90s, and I used to think, how did they do it? How did they manage with this kind of pain, thinking that I had some decades to go if I was granted that longevity as well. And I was worried that it would be hard to manage.
Mhm. Yeah, it is. We start to wonder, oh my gosh, how long am I going to live? And do I have to live all these decades with this pain?
Right. Right. That's what made me a little bit anxious. I try to live one day at a time, but I used to think, what am I going to do if it gets worse?
Mm.
And how am I going to manage?
So what did it stop you from doing?
Probably stopped me from being as active as I would like. I'm not a extremely active person. I know I have a friend that kayaks and canoes and hikes, but I like to walk and hike in the woods and forests in Connecticut. And I think it kept me home when I should have been out and about
Mm.
a little more.
Yeah.
In fact, I know it did.
Yeah, because we worry if we can do it or keep up or, you know, how far we're going to get before we have to turn around and go back home. Yeah. So I'm guessing you were a little skeptical in the beginning that this would even work.
Well, I try to have an open mind, but I, and I also tried not to think, how does this work? Just believe it. But the fact that I had a friend that had such success and she was so thrilled and so happy to share how she felt and her lessening of her pain, that made me want to find out what this was all about and how it could help me and how it could, if it could relieve her pain. She's 8, 9 years older than I am. I said, maybe it can help me too.
Yeah. And I know the person you're talking about, and she has had amazing results. Yeah. Yeah. What were some of the reasons you were thinking that this would not work?
Well, because it's simple. Sometimes you think it's too simple, and
Mhm.
so it can't possibly work because it's just easy and a simple technique. So how could that do it?
Yeah.
But it does.
Yeah. Sometimes we might try to make it harder than it is. What were some of the reasons that you would have stopped you from doing this program?
Um, Let me think. Well, if I hadn't heard from my friend about it, I would have just maybe brushed it off and said, oh, that, maybe that sounds interesting, but that's not for me. Somehow or other, having a friend uh, be so thrilled with it all really, opened my eyes and ears to let the possibilities come in. That's what I thought. Just find out about it and see how you feel.
And why did you decide to go for it?
I wanted to feel better. I wanted to feel better. It was the main reason. And I wanted to have more control, and this gives me control. And I like that.
Beautiful.
Also, there's no medication to take. I didn't want to have to take something for my arthritis, which I had in the past. I'm not right now, and I really would prefer not to take any medications.
So you've mentioned that you do have arthritis.
Yes, I do.
And have you had it for a while?
Yes, it runs in my family, and I don't know, I haven't thought about how long, but probably 10, 15 years.
So many people out there believe that, well, Jack, I have arthritis or I have a physical ailment, physical pain, and that how can something so naturally release the pain? And here you are saying that you do have arthritis and your pain has gotten better. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is what I'm saying. I have arthritis, but I'm not feeling it. Yay, the way I used to.
Yeah.
It crops up now and then, and all I have to do is tap on it. And to be honest, I've had a sore knee for the past, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks, but I've been working on it, tapping about it, or tapping on it, and it feels pretty good today.
Awesome. So I like how you're taking these tools and techniques and bringing them into your life much more often so that you are able to have more control in your life with your pain and with life in general. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, and that's what I like the best about tapping is it, and I know I've said this to you before, it gave me power. It gave me control. Power is the word that keeps coming to my mind because that's what I feel. I'm not helpless. I can control the pain in my body. I can lessen it, and it's like exciting.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love that word power because it gives us back control and we feel powerful that, we can handle anything that comes to us instead of feeling helpless. So, Mel, how did you know that things were beginning to change?
Well, I first of all felt a lessening in my pain. That was the most obvious. And then I found myself thinking about different situations in my life and realizing that I knew people that have not accepted their pain, and I could be one of them. And it just, I'm still working on it, but it's just a fascinating and wonderful thing to learn and to realize you have more control.
And you did come to me for a couple things. You do have pain in your body, but you also came to me just to start feeling healthier and some weight loss and other things. So for you, it wasn't just all about pain relief, right?
That's true. I really struggle with losing weight and then gaining it back. Losing weight and gaining it back. I've done this multiple times in my life, and I would like to stop that vicious circle. And this has helped me. You have helped me, and tapping has helped me think about why I'm sabotaging myself. And I'm learning to not sabotage myself. Now, as I said, I'm a work in progress, but I feel different about being healthier. And love, it's really boils down to, and this has really just been in the past couple of weeks, I need to love myself more. And you think by eating, giving yourself things you love to eat, that you are loving yourself, but it not if it makes you miserable.
Yes.
And
or
hard
feel deprived. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I need to love myself more, and so that I'm healthier. And that's the main idea.
Yeah, and loving ourselves is the underlying core, I think, of everything. And feeling that we deserve to fuel our bodies and feed ourselves the right thing, to do the right programs that are really going to help us individually to love ourselves so that we can become more powerful. And so by you feeling that you deserve more in life and for yourself, you're looking at how and what you eat more that you deserve instead of I have to or I should, which sets up the self-sabotage. When we start loving ourselves, we're able to do these things because we deserve it. Right?
Yes, I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to feel good about myself. And I want to do that. I'm not saying it's easy.
No, it's something we have to stay on top of every single day because we get triggered all day long and we don't know why.
Yes, that's for sure. Yep. But it's a different mindset. It's a different way of looking at it. Looking at food and looking at being healthy and looking at what I really want. So it's good. It's sort of like, I don't know why the word adventure comes to mind, but it's like a new adventure. I'm on a new adventure.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I kind of like to say it's a self-discovery of you, the adventure of discovering who you are. As with all the trauma sometimes that we've lived through, we don't take the time to really get to know ourselves, or we shut ourselves down. So finally, when we're older and we're at an age where it's like, it's time for me, and it's time to go on that adventure. So I'm glad you took that journey. So Mel, where are you now? Give us an update of how your life is now with your pain levels, your eating, how you feel about yourself. Where are you?
I don't have as much pain as I used to. I don't wake up with a backache. And as I mentioned earlier, if I use my knee a lot because I was at a vacation place earlier this summer that had many steps. It was at the beach, so the best deck was up lots of steps, and that's when my knee became a little sore. But I didn't worry about it. We also did a lot of walking on the beach, and I knew that if I just focused on my knee and tapped on it, that it would get better, and it did. It took a little while. It took a couple of weeks, but just yesterday I was saying, boy, my knee is really good. It's not bothering me at all. The food, I do look at food differently now, and I think about food differently, but it's still a struggle for me. I still have bad habits with eating, and I still want sugary things, sweet things. That's a downfall for me. But I'm not 100% worried about it as I used to be, because I also want to be kind to myself and give myself time to adjust and make choices and accept whatever choice I make, and then move on. Because some days it's easy as can be, and other days it's not. But I definitely feel more power in my life, both with the pain and with the eating. And that gives me such a lift to feel more powerful. It's a very good feeling.
And what's the ripple effect of that having on your relationships and work and all that?
Well, it hasn't affected my husband yet. I told him yesterday I said, I think you're more addicted to sugar than I was. But I have spoken to him about what I need to eat and want to eat and like to eat. And he has made some adjustments himself. He does the cooking in our house, which is a wonderful thing. And so yesterday for supper, I said, let's have a big salad. If you want to cook a protein to go with that salad, that's all we need. And he did. He cooked some chicken, and we were very full. We had a lovely supper. And it was easier for him. That's all he did was cook some chicken.
Right. Yes. And where are you in terms of your emotional state? How are you feeling about life and your future?
I feel more positive about life in general. And I'm a person that tends to minimize, it's not the best thing to do, but minimize my problems. But I try to stay focused on the positive. And now it's easier. It's easier because of what I'm practicing. Easier to stay focused on and be filled with gratitude. I have a lot of gratitude in my life. And every day I think about all the things that I'm thankful for.
Yeah, beautiful. And so in this Get Out of Pain program, we are not in the same room. I am not touching you at all. It's all online. Why do you think this program is working to help you finally get out of pain?
This program is so interesting because of what we talk about. And I go into a quiet room and close the door so that even though I'm only hearing voices, what we talk about and our exercises that we do bring me to realize certain things and experience certain wonderful feelings, and kind of like cleansing out some emotions that I didn't even realize I was hanging on to. And I also know that other people that are in the program are dealing with the same sort of issues that I am. So we have this camaraderie, and it works. It may even, I don't know if it would work better than being all together in the same room, but it works very well.
It's kind of nice not having to drive anywhere. You could do it from the comfort of your own home.
That's for sure. That is true, right? I could be in my PJs.
Yes. And what would you say to someone who is in pain and skeptical that something like this could work?
I would say give it a try, because it does work, and you don't have to feel the way that you do. You can feel better. Most people would, if they were in, mid-range or even higher pain level, most people would be very happy to feel a little less of their pain. to be a little more mobile, to be a little more loose and comfortable. So, I would say you can't lose anything by giving it a try, and you can gain a lot.
Yeah, and some people even just being able to walk up and down stairs easier. Um, it's amazing when people start really talking about the pain they're dealing with and how it's affecting their life and their day, even just sleeping better, right? Most people are even saying that they're sleeping better so they feel more rested. And sometimes you have to just try something new. And even if you're afraid, just do it anyway, and the results will be amazing. And trust. So, well, thank you, Mel, for being with me today and answering these questions. And I'm so excited for your results and your future from where you are at this point.
Thank you, Jackie, for all that you've taught me and all that I continue to learn. And I've enjoyed every step, even though I've gotten emotional a lot of times. It's been great.
Thank you. Thank you for this. And you have a wonderful day.